now I'm going to get into number 9. And let me just change the number on the chalkboard here so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Get my notes changed over. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so we left off on June 11th. I'm going to change this to June 12th. So if I add those up, it'll come to an 18. Okay, so I'll just go through this real quick. So we've got June 12th. We started with June 4th, and now we're to June 12th. And so, again, there's no zeros in the numerology that we're doing here. So I'm going to go through this quickly. And so writing out June 12th in numerological form, we're doing 6 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 5. I'm sorry, said that backwards. 6 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 5 gives us 18. And 18 is still a double-digit number, so we need to break that down. So 1 plus 8 equals 9. So that's how we're getting our 9 for that universal day of June 12th. So again, that's just so you guys can physically see how I'm doing it. And let me get into the energy of the colors and the gemstones so I don't forget those. Okay, and the colors that are associated with number 9, again, now we've already went up through the chakras, and we already went to the one that was above our crown chakra. So then even more so around our auric field, we have another one that's higher up, because now we're at the top layer of number 9. So now we're kind of thinking that we're not even on functioning really more so on the earth plane. We're now focusing more so on a spiritual plane, if you will, or at least the connection between the two. So keep that in mind as we go through some of these, and you'll kind of understand how the numbers and the energy ties in here. So the colors for the energy of number 9 are, again, and we just got done talking about the Midas touch with gold on number 8. Number 9 always also carries the energy of gold, so we're going to go with gold for that day. And also white, because white is more now purity. We're getting out of the physical body and into the spiritual realm. So you think about the colors that radiate off of the sun glow as you're sitting outside in the summertime and you're feeling that sunshine on you, those rays of colors that come out, the golds, the whites, the pearls. When you look at sunset during the summertime with everything that's going on, sometimes you'll get more of like a lavender or purple sky color that's going on. And so for number 9, another color that comes into play here is lavender. So not the royal purples, not the eggplants or any of those, not the velvety colors. It's more so lavender, like the actual herb lavender that grows outside. So the more pale colors of purple to the more medium, like the lighter medium colors there. And then, interestingly enough, olive green comes into play with the vibration of the energy of number 9. And my only reason that really can come with why in particular olive green is it's a different connection back to the earth, but it's also connecting that symbolically an olive branch between this world and the spirit world, making sure that we keep the connection open and that everything is flowing energetically. That's my theory. I don't know if there's an actual reason why, but the color of olive green comes into play with the number 9. I think it also has to do with the energy and the vibration maybe of money and coming through in a little bit full cycle that way. So I'm going to leave that there for now. Again, that's my theory of the green. It's not necessarily fact, but it seems to work. Whenever I'm wearing olive green on those days, on 9 days, I actually have a better flow of energy coming through me as well. So the gemstones that can be associated with day number 9, or the energy of the vibration of number 9, is a stone called kunzite. It is actually like a lavender, light purple, pale color purple with some speckles on it and some kind of swirls in it. Very, very pretty stone, but that is one of the ones to wear. So if you can get your hands on it, or if you can hold it in your pocket or find any type of jewelry that's associated with it, it's actually quite a beautiful stone. So that is one that really works well. Again, as we've talked about before, clear quartz goes with number 9 because it goes with every number in our numerology span here. And I'm going to go back to my cheat sheet and give you the other ones. So Again, remember, sometimes the stone colors don't necessarily match the colors that are meant for wearing, for clothing or accessories, because the energy of these gemstones hold a different vibration and frequency that vibrate with what the number 9 is all about. So those are ruby, believe it or not, ruby, garnet, and bloodstone. Notice those are more of the deeper, rich, reddish black stones, or the ruby, the bright red see-through stone, but it can be see-through depending on the cut of it. But the bloodstone and the garnet are darker red stones, beautiful nonetheless. It's interesting how it kind of goes full circle from when we started with the red of number 1, wearing it as an accessory, to having the gemstone end up as the more darker, richer reds at the higher elevation of 9. So if you think about it, we've got to leave the 9, come back into the 1. So to me, like, those stones are representative of almost like a transition era, but holding the energy of what the 9 is about and then taking us back into what the 1 might be about. So the planet that is vibrating with the energy of number 9 is Mars. So again, if you think about the energy of the planet, it makes perfect sense of why those stones are in play with the number 9, since it's ruled by Mars. Mars is a hot, fiery planet. It's red. It's got the energy that goes along with it there. So, they start to make sense when you really kind of dive in deeper into the energy of 9. It is earthbound, but it's beyond the earth as well. So again, we're out of the physical body. We're still here on earth, but it's dealing with the energy above and beyond what is possible on earth. So that means above and beyond what's possible in our mind, and what's above and beyond what's possible in our body. So number 9 is associated with universal consciousness, universal awareness, regular consciousness, like physical, your own self-being consciousness. It is with completion. It deals with finality. It deals with endings. And it also deals with the higher law. So the higher universal laws, the higher vibration of what's available and known to us through this known universe. So some people are aware of what different laws, the laws of the universe are, and how they're incorporated and how you can make peace with some of them. Number 9s almost have an intuitive side of that. They know that if they do this, it's going to result in that. And if they don't do this, it's going to result in one of these different options. And before they even take action, they kind of play these things out through their brain. The number 9 is also quite humanitarian, is philanthropical as well. So you've got a lot of energy that comes into helping higher levels of humanity, the good of all, meaning like the good of all humankind, not just necessarily for me, myself, and I. Our 9s have the outlook of, how can this be good for the benefit of all? Or how can we do this for the benefit and the good of all, meaning all of humanitarian, or all humans, all animals, the earth, the plants, like every living thing is a human breathing soul, or a living soul, or a breathing entity. How can we make things, possible and work for things that don't have a voice? Those kind of things, like thinking, how can we save things? How can we do better for things instead of being wasteful? I want you to think about, again, we were talking about locations and just how things can shift and change over time in the space that we're in. How things can change location-wise would mean a change of career opportunities. So like physically changing where it is that you are, or physically changing what it is that you do and associated with where you are. Excellent job opportunities that could be presented to you, and not being so closed-minded to say, I'm not willing to take that risk of leaving what I know and changing it up and trying it out. And vibration, the energy that comes along like within the actual day is, try not to let yourself get disrupted, and try not to be disruptive to others. So it is really being mindful of the processes that other people are going through, and that the process that you're going through, and not allowing those distractions or interruptions to come into play, especially while you're in full focus of what you're doing. And then to really go outside and enjoy nature in some way, shape, or form, because now that you're so focused on completing your tasks and completing your mission and completing whatever it is that you got yourself focused onto in that point in time for the day, time can fly by and you completely forget what you're doing, and you miss the entire outside experience, or you miss being able to spend some time at night in the stars or at the beach or in the mountains or what have you, whatever's close to you in your area. The other thing that comes along with number 9 is getting lost in deep thought. So much so that you can isolate yourself from others because you're so deeply entranced in your own thoughts and understanding the process of experiencing the numbers 1 through 9, that in your mindset it's like, okay, well, how can I get this done so I can move on to the next thing? How can I get this done? You're so focused on what you're doing that you can lose track of time, you can lose track of space, you can lose track of a conversation because you literally can just drift and go into that space, and then you can get lost in an activity or a hobby or what have you for hours and not even realize that you're doing it for hours because you have that ability to focus so completely, and you allow your thoughts to take you there and they stay there. So it's a very great number for focusing. Day number 9s are terrific for deep meditation, for focusing, for analyzing things on a deeper level of things that you want to complete. You want to try to get projects completed. You want to move on. You want to really talk about completion and higher law. And we can really get into the psychological side of things and the metaphysical side of things and the universal law side of things. So that's what I mean. Like, you can really get deep stuck in a thought. Or if you say, for example, you watch a video or a documentary about something that is mind-boggling to you, or something that you've always wanted to learn about, or the hidden mysteries of this, or the esoteric meaning of that, you can literally get lost in that for hours, sometimes even days. But with the energy, as we're talking about under a day, the energy of a day, what it means to have that number for the daily vibration, it can consume you for close to that full 24 hours. So just know that that's an energy that's possible. It doesn't mean it's bad, but it means you need to find focus and you need to find balance. So that's it for the number. Oh, nope. Let me go into my other little notes here for number 9. So I touched upon some of my other little keywords here. There are changes with number 9. Endings. Charity has a lot, but then again, that comes into philanthropy and humanitarianism. There's a lot of charity that goes on with the number 9. And inspiration. So a lot of 9s become inspirations for other people because they're making those changes in the world. They're making those changes for mankind. They're making them changes for themselves, for their industry, for their business, for the way things move and operate on this earth. They're the game changers on a lot of things because they've already kind of experienced things on other levels. But as far as the actual physical day vibration, those are the things that go along with it. So we've got changes, charity, endings and completions, and inspiration. Okay, that's it for now. Have a great evening. Namaste.